Hi and welcome to the next video. In today's video we're going to be talking about Titles Pro version 3. Now what is Titles Pro version 3? Basically it's a pack of video templates for After Effects made for designers, editors, animators who design for their channel. So this pack contains over 1500 animated templates in over 23 different categories, including things like minimal titles, lower thirds, sales, quotes, callouts. It also includes things like liquid, digital, glitch, and kinetic titles, as well as ready scenes, which are ready to take your animations to the next level. Version 3 comes with new categories, which include things like color, fashion, sports, cinematic, countdown, stomps, viewfinders, backgrounds, and more. Another great feature of Titles Pro version 3 is that you can combine templates together. You can mix and match elements to get interesting and unique versions of templates, which ultimately save you time. Titles Pro version 3 is compatible with 4K, so your titles will look sharp even on the big screen. Now if you're not editing in 4K, no worries. There's an auto resize function which will automatically resize to the size of your composition that you're working in. Now where can you use Titles Pro version 3? Basically anywhere. YouTube, Instagram, blogs, presentation, TikTok, etc. Titles Pro version 3 is very easy for beginners to create professional animations. It includes over 753 AI vector files for branding. It includes free updates and 24/7 support. Tutorials are included. The EasyEdit viewer, which is an easy way to view all the assets, is also included. Now Titles Pro version 3 is for After Effects 2020 and above, but you can also use it on Premiere Pro as well as DaVinci Resolve. So finally we are introducing a giveaway. You have a chance to win your favorite pack from EasyEdit.pro, and all you have to do is watch the video all the way to the end to find out all the information. So anyways guys, this is Nick from the online learning space. Let's jump into Titles Pro version 3. So here we are in After Effects. Now I've already installed Titles Pro version 3 and it's very easy to install. It's pretty much just drag and drop. All the instructions are available when you download it. But once you've downloaded it and installed it, I'm just going to go and open up the EasyEdit viewer. And I have the EasyEdit viewer here. And once I've done that, it's basically all listed out for me. You can see all the categories that are there. So as we were talking about in the intro, we were saying things about minimal titles, lower thirds, quotes, sales, callouts, etc. It's all here. Now what's very cool about this is that it's pretty much just drag and drop, and then you can just edit the text as you go along. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is I'm just going to create a new composition. 1920 by 1080 pixels will be fine at a duration of about 10 seconds. I'm just going to start with some minimal titles. So I'm going to choose this one. All I have to do is just click on it. That's only one click and you can see that it's imported into my composition. So now if I scrub through that animation, you've got these 2 points over here. You have the in and the out section. Now the in section is the beginning of the animation and the out is obviously when it's going to get out of the animation. Now this is all in a pre-composition. So if I double click that, and you can actually see all of the animations and the keyframes that are already set up here. Now that's the great thing about using Titles Pro version 3 is that it's already set up for you. You don't have to go in here and keyframe anything, or you don't have to set the animation path or go into the graph editor, anything like that. Now you don't even have to get into this pre-comp because all the editing can be done straight from here. So to edit this, all we have to do is just open up the text config box over here. You will have to make sure that you have the correct fonts, because without the right fonts, then it just won't show up. Now you can always change your font to whatever you like, but the good thing about these things are when it was designed with that font in mind. So you have to make sure that if you are going to choose a different font, make sure you fit one that, you know, goes with the theme of that template. So anyways, now if I wanted to change the size or anything like that, I can change it. So I can put it down here if I want to change any of the writing. So let's say we'll just write Learnspace, and now we have the new word in there. If I want to make it all caps, I can, but then I'll obviously have to change the size. And then once you've got that, if you need to change the color or anything else, you can go down to color config and you can see that the color box is white And let's say I want to change it to blue. There we go. If I want to change the text to something else, you can change that just like that. So that's a pretty cool way of creating and editing that space. Now in the main config is where you can change things like the box size, etc. So if you want to make the box size bigger, you can. So you can see how I'm, bringing this value up, the X value, it's creating a bigger space for the box. Now, once you're happy with, editing your template, what's cool about this is that you can use it in your compositions. So what I would normally do is when I'm making a tutorial, anything like that, let's say I've been working on this light motion tutorial, and this will be coming out pretty soon. So you can see here that now I have the animated title coming up here, as well as my video in the background. And honestly, like with only like a few seconds worth of work, I can already create something that is much more impactful than not having any title at all. And now if you don't like the position, you can move it to wherever you like if you want, or you can change the position to wherever you want. So if you just want to, have this as a lower third or something like that, there we have something as simple as that. So that's the first category. So I'm going to go back to the Easy viewer, and I'm just going to have a look at some other things. So let's now get a lower third. And for example, I like this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to adjust it to where I want it to be. And here we have two sets of text which are animating into each other, and we have this line over here. So firstly, let's go into the text config and let's change the name here. And now I want to change the underline over here. So all I have to do is just write it in, and there we go. It's as simple as that. Now, obviously the color, we can come down to here and we can change the color of that line. So let's change that to a blue. Now I'm going to go into the main config because I don't want it to be that long. So what I'm going to do is I can come down here to the position of the line, and I can change a few things over here. So for example, if I drag this out a bit, you can see how I'm making it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to put it to, let's say, -170, and then I'm also going to change the other side to +170. And you can see that now we've put that smaller over there, and that's looking pretty cool. And if that's what you want for your animation, then there you go, you're pretty much done. So I'm just going to delete that, and we're going to have a look at some other things in here. So there are really cool lower thirds as well. And in some of the other categories, like for example, quotes, so this is good for, let's say, like Instagram and things like that, where all you have to do is just, put a quote in. It already looks, the part with the nice fonts and the animation as well. So this is a very simple text animation, and it looks pretty good as is. But if we go into our text config, we can write, anything we want. And then we get to the last bit over here, which we can also put in like a hashtag or something like that. And so again, the in animation takes us to here, and then we have the out animation. And that's looking pretty good as it is, but again, we can change some of the things as well. If we don't want to change the color, or if we don't like that red, we can always change it to like a blue, or we can change, which line of the text as well, so you can do cool stuff like that. And that's looking pretty awesome. And then you put it behind the background or anything that you like. So now let me give you another example of my real workflow. So this is a drone shot that I have taken of, I think it's a beach near Byron Bay in Australia. And basically there's a category in Titles Pro version 3 which is called Callouts. And basically what you can do with this is you can now drag these callouts to, pinpoint certain things on your footage or something like that. So I'll show you an example of what this looks like. So firstly, all I'm going to do is just click on it to put it into my composition, and I'm just going to move it to where I want it to sit, and I'm just going to adjust the animation to start there. So I think that's looking pretty cool. So now all we have to do is just go into the text config, and we're just going to edit this. So I'm just going to change the text. So I'm just going to write, you know, Byron Bay Beach, New South Wales, Australia. And you can see that the text is just a bit too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lower the size to maybe like, let's say 31. And now we have a very nice call out that will add to this footage. Now, another thing that you can do is once this footage is tracked, you can actually have this text tracked into here, but I'll save that for another tutorial. So that's another example of using Titles Pro version 3 in my actual workflow. So now let me give you another example of something that I was working on for Instagram. So basically here we have a vertical set composition, and so I'm just having a look at some of the kinetic titles over here, and basically, you know, I can go and pick any of these and I can add them to my vertically inclined composition. So I'll show you what I mean. Like if I just click and drag, you know, let's say one of these. So now you can see that it fits into that composition, and that's pretty cool in itself. Now, if I want to scale that up, I also can. I need to make sure that I don't cross off anything that I don't need. And then what I can do is I can go back into the text config as well, and I can change any of these settings. So if I don't like the colors, I can always go down to color config, and then I can maybe pick like a color that's from here, or let's just pick maybe a brighter blue, something like that. So now that's pretty cool, and then the animation fades out as well. So that's another example where you can see the use for Titles Pro version 3. So now another cool thing about Titles Pro version 3 is these ready scenes, and basically what's cool about these things is that they are ready to go. So all you have to do is just click on one. So let's say I'm going to choose this one, and I'm working in a 1920 by 1080 pixel composition that goes for about 15 seconds, and I'm just going to adjust it to show you the whole effect of this ready scene. So basically you got the in animation, which the text will come in, so you can use it kind of as a transition, and then you've got the out animation, which is the reverse of that. Now what's cool with this is you can again just go to text config and you can change any of the settings. So if you go in and you know you want to change the font or anything like that, you know, you can. And so if I just go and edit this, so it just took me a few seconds to edit that, and now I've got a ready to go animation which looks really, really professional, and it's set to my liking. Now obviously you can change everything that's on here, and if you go back into color config and things like that, you can change the color. For example, if you want to change the color again to, let's say, green, there you go. And what's cool with these Titles Pro version 3 is that you can mix and match any of these elements together. So if you like the text effect or anything like that, you can go into one of the categories and change it with one of the backgrounds. So moving on, in some of the new categories, you know, you have a lot of color settings as well, which are very bright, and they give you that kind of Apple-ish kind of vibe. So they look pretty cool as well if you need something like that for your projects. Fashion, if you're doing anything, let's say like on Instagram or anything like that, where it's very fashion orientated, there's a lot of templates for that. There's also sports, you know, if you're doing any kind of motion graphics for any sporting things, there's countdowns as well. And the sports stuff looks actually pretty good. But one of my favorite things that I like to do and that I've made tutorials on before is the background gradients. Like this stuff is, you know, I've done tutorials on here which, you know, could take me 5-10 minutes or whatever. But for me to use one of these gradients, all I have to do is just click on it, it imports to my composition, and now I've got this moving gradient as well, and it's even got a bit of texture on there, and that looks amazing. So again, like if you're looking to save yourself time, then this is the pack for you, because honestly that will save you at least 5, you know, maybe 7 minutes worth of work. Now what's cool with this is that I would always go and make tutorials on how to do things like, you know, let's say we put text in here, and I'll show you how to do this. So I'm just gonna increase the font size, and then I'm just gonna align it to the center of the composition. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go down to the track matte, and I'm just gonna go to the alpha matte. And now I've got an animated text gradient with an alpha matte, and honestly it looks beautiful. So I can actually go and maybe even make that bigger if I like, and I'm just gonna center it to the composition. And yeah, and what's even cool about it is it has that intro animation as well. So yeah, like I've made, you know, tutorials on that, which again, like I said, it will last at least 5 minutes to be able to go and do that and set that up from scratch. And now I can honestly do that in only a few seconds. So going back into it, you know, there are some cinematic stuff, you know, like if you're making films and things like that, you know, this is really cool stuff to, you know, maybe even start your film or have like, you know, some credits and text and things like that. There are also countdown timers available. So if you ever need one of those, they're in here. Stomp words are pretty new to version 3, and these things look pretty cool, and it's like they stomp to a beat. There's like stomp lines as well, which you can get like a whole range of text that comes out on the screen, and that looks pretty cool. You also have viewfinders as well, which, you know, basically you can take any image that you have and it creates a viewfinder, which again gives a unique look to the footage. And again, all I had to do is just drag it on and it's created that viewfinder look for me, which looks amazing. So ultimately, Titles Pro version 3, it will really save you time. You will get better and it will look more professional. If you buy this product once, you will get all the updates, all the new updates completely for free as long as they keep making it. EasyEdit.pro will have their own YouTube channel, which they include all of their tutorials on how to actually use their templates, which is a great feature. Their tutorials are very step-by-step and very easy to follow and very informative. So now to the giveaway. If you would like to participate in this giveaway, all you have to do is go to the EasyEdit.pro website. You can see all the packs that they have created. You can choose any pack that you like, and to actually win it, all you have to do is make sure that you subscribe to the channel, the online learning space, and make sure that you leave a comment below with the name of the pack that you would like to win. I will announce the winner for this pack within 2 weeks, so please make sure that you check the comments for that, and we'll get in touch with you. All the links for everything will be in the description, so just go ahead and check that out when you can. And that's basically it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys learned something. So thanks for watching. See ya.